These niggas missing the hard work, they calling it talent. And I find that disrespectful, cause I put on the mileage. Up for the shit, but I'm down for the challenge. Step off the scene just to find me a balance. These niggas don't want it to get it, cause when it got hard, them niggas quit it. So much hustle, dog.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sold Out. Today I'm pumped to bring you guys the KD16. You guys can see the box here. It's kind of got a gear theme to it, which I guess that means like it's my time or the clock is ticking. Some are saying, I don't know. I'm not sure what goes through KD's mind, but I guess it's something to do with the clock ticking. So jumping right into it, you guys see the box. So right off the bat, we are going to get a weight on it. I'm going to say this is going to be around 13. Might be like 12.8, might be like 13.5, in between there somewhere. It doesn't feel like a super heavy shoe, but it's not a super light shoe at the same time. It's 13.1, so I was almost spot on there. I figured it kind of felt like 13 after all these shoes I've been working with, getting pretty good at getting the weights on these guys. But jumping right into this sneaker, guys, this is KD's 16th model, which is actually quite a bit. I mean, he's getting up there when it comes to sneaker models. I know LeBron's at 21. Well, the 21 will come out this year, but good job for Kevin Durant. That just speaks to his longevity in his partnership with Nike, and I think that's dope that he's already made it to 16, and he's got a ton of dope shoes in that lineup. So working into our heel slipping comfort and heel lockdown. Heel lockdown was nothing like the 15. I know tons of people went crazy about the slippage in the heel area on the 15. You do not get that with the 16. So if you were worried about that, or if that ruined your KD experience, don't let it, because this is nothing like this. This conforms to foot great. There is no wiggle room at all. I really didn't have a big problem with the KD 15s, but with this, you're not going to get any heel slippage unless you oversize your shoe and you give your foot too much room to wiggle. Anybody's going to get heel slippage if they get the incorrect size. So if you're heel slipping, sometimes that can also be due to incorrect size. I know a lot of kids think, hey, I wear a size 12, but you really don't. You wear a 10.5. They're just trying to have a bigger shoe for some reason. First off, it'll make you slower. It'll be a lot more clunkier, and you will get heel slippage, and you don't want that. So get retrofitted, like get fitted at Champs. Go in there, use like the shoe thing that they use to find your exact size. I always thought I was an 8.5 growing up. Come to find out, a lot of my foot pain and stuff like that was due to because I wasn't. I could wear a 7.5 and an 8. So at the end of the day, I could wear a 7.5 if I wanted a snug fit, and an 8 if I wanted a comfort fit, and not just my foot getting like really, really pinched in. But when I'm hooping, I like to have a little bit snugger fit. I'd rather have less room than more room, if that makes any sense to you guys. But heel slip-in comfort and heel lockdown were phenomenal. The padding on the back, it looks super minimal. It looks like there really isn't much there, but it feels great like when it's conformed around that area. Like it's almost like a memory foam, and I love when Nike uses this foam. I'm not sure what the foam's called, but it feels like it's almost like a memory foam. It conforms to foot. It feels great on foot. Down to the laces. Laces are cheap oval laces. You guys can see them right here. Already fraying. It happens. It is what it is. It's basketball. Your shoe's going to get beat up there and meant to be worn. Now, down under the tongue. When I first got it, I thought the tongue was a mesh until I looked down and the way the light hit it. Like, if you just kind of look at it there, you can't really tell it's ported out. But when you kind of turn it a little bit, you can see, well, I hope you guys can see on the camera, it's definitely ported out, and I love that. I love having a ported out tongue, especially when the rest of the shoe isn't the most breathable, like on a sneaker. Like, you got to have a ported tongue. Like on the Trae Youngs I was just looking at it, I'm not sure how it releases heat, but I know the tongue's ported out very well on that new Trae Young 3, and I'm going to get that in the gym this weekend. Probably tomorrow morning I'll get that in and start getting it tested out. But as far as the tongue on this one, the padding felt great. They did a great job with comfort on the sneaker. Like, putting this shoe on, it doesn't feel like it needs break-in time. Like the Serious Player Only, the Kobe 5, and them Way of Wades, they felt like they had a break-in time. A lot of sneakers will feel like that. They'll feel like they have a break-in time. This just felt great right when I put it on. Felt like I've worn it 10, 15 times already, so no issues with that. So I love the tongue on this one. Now down on the materials weren't like out of this world or nothing crazy like that. They kind of used the same material from the KD 15. It's actually a little bit softer though on the 16. The padding on this underneath all this material feels great. That's why I think like the comfort is so nice on this. one of my lights just went out. It's all good. We'll keep it pushing. So yeah, for materials, they kind of used a cheap nubuck here, a cheap mesh around here. You guys can kind of see that same thing keeps up all the way around the sneaker. They kind of have it lined with this gold stuff right here. I think that'd be dope if they put some reflective material on it in the future pairs. And then they had these shrouds right here that come up for support and lockdown. We'll get that out of the way right now. Support, lockdown, stability is great on the sneaker. This right here definitely just, it just gives you an added sense of support. Like, it feels great on foot. You feel protected. When you tie the shoes down, this kind of clamps around. It doesn't like dig into you or anything like that. It's kind of like a soft plastic, almost like a rubber, but it feels great on foot. One of my issues with it though is, why put them holes in there if we're not gonna port it? Like, this was, like, you missed your chance right here to make this a very breathable sneaker with the tongue that you got breathable. You could have ported, this looks ported when you're looking at it, but it's like, it's not. Like, it doesn't do anything. They just probably took out some of that plastic to make the sneaker a little bit lighter. Not sure how much that would have mattered, but I think that's the reason that they did that. But if I was them, I would have took out the material as well, and it would have made for a very, very breathable sneaker. So my favorite part about this sneaker is going to be the cushion setup. They killed it on this. I know KD's been going with the Zoom Strobel and stuff like that and the Cushlon. This has the Cushlon, at least it feels like Cushlon to me right off the gate, and it also has Air Strobel. Now there's a difference. Air Zoom Strobel is kind of like the Strobel board of the sneaker that runs underneath the insole. Air Strobel is just air that runs through it. There's no like fibers or anything from like the Zoom pad or anything like that underneath it. It's just pure air. Now I will say this, it does take time to break an insole in and bottom out an insole. Every insole that comes in a lot of these sneakers is cheap as hell. Adidas, terrible. Nike, terrible. Under Armour, god awful. Terrible insoles. But if you guys are looking for a good insole while we're at it, Move Insoles is definitely a great company to go with. And I got some back here. So if you guys are looking for a good insole and there's not a lot of impact protection in your sneaker, like in these, you probably wouldn't need them. I really don't use them when I have good impact protection on a sneaker. But if you're wearing something like the Currys or a sneaker that you want good impact protection with, this is a great option to grab. Now, when you break that insole in, the Air Strobel feels insane underneath your foot. It gives that like heel like a nice bounce. It does feel weird like when it breaks in, because it's almost like a hex under your foot, and you can feel the compressions of like the lines and the circles on underneath your foot. But at the end of the day, it is great. I love it. My Zion 1s, I still rock those. They are one of the most comfortable shoes. They have the full bed of Air Zoom Strobel now, or Air Strobel. Now this just has half Air Strobel and then there's Zoom in the front, and this feels more top loaded. I feel like the Greek Freak 5s that we just did felt bottom loaded. You can actually feel the Zoom bag in this. Like I said, I'm a lighter guy. I think I could feel the top loaded Zoom better than I could feel the bottom loaded Zoom, and I think this might be top loaded because I can feel the compression on it a little bit more. Now I'm sure the PSIs vary from models and players, how they want their PSI in them airbags to feel, but in this, the forefoot feels great, and the rear is definitely a great cushion setup, guys. If you have heel pain or anything like that, you're definitely going to like the KD16. Now, down on the traction. Traction is good for the most part. I've worn this multiple times. I did mess up the other day, and this was the only pair of shoes I had in my car, and I wore them outside on a fresh black top court. We went to go hoop at the church, and the church lost power, so we went up to another church. They had a little outdoor court, and we played in that, and that happened. Yeah, no, not ideal. But I'm not gonna hoop just because I don't want to get my shoes messed up. At the end of the day, it did do a little bit of damage, but not much. You guys can kind of maybe see a little bit of fraying over there. Like at the end of the day, if a shoe's over $150, I'm not rocking it outside. That's just what it is. I hope you guys don't do that. If you do got the money to do that, good, who cares? But I try to stay like in the budget line from like 100 to 120, 130 max for an outdoor sneaker. Like my main outdoor sneaker is the Kyrie Infinities. I got the EP version too. So if you're playing outside, try to get an EP version. I think Jordans are called the PF version. So try to get an outdoor version. It will definitely last you a little bit longer. My Kyries are still going strong. I'm about to just throw them in my car, so this never happens again. So at the end of the day, the traction was great. Even on a clean floor, dusty floor, I didn't have much issues. I had one slip out. I did a jab forward and it kind of slid out. I don't know if it was just a wet spot on the court from everybody sweating. I'm not sure what it was from, but that was my only issue with it. Other than that, the traction was solid. It's not top tier. It's not bottom tier. It's like, I'd say it's mid-tier to upper tier. You know, it felt good. I didn't really slip out too much. I just had that one incident. Can't say it's bad just off that one incident. There's a lot of shoes that'll slip out here and there, or if you hit a dusty spot a janitor mist or anything like that. But overall, the traction was not bad on the KD16. So who would I recommend this sneaker for? I would recommend this sneaker to anyone. I think this would be a great big sneaker. I know KD, well, a lot of people say KD's not a big dude, 7 foot. To me, that's freaking big at the end of the day. But it would also be a nice guard sneaker. If you're looking for heel impact protection and don't want a lot of delay or latency like something the Nike GT Jump 2 would give you, this is definitely a good sneaker for you. It's not going to be the most responsive sneaker because you can feel that zoom bag in the front a little bit, but overall you do feel pretty low to the court. It really didn't take away from any fast movements or anything like that. So if you're a guard, I think you'll definitely enjoy the KD16. If you're a big, you would definitely also enjoy the 16. Positions 1 through 5, go ahead and get you the KD16. You guys will not regret it. It's a great sneaker. Like I said, I wore mine outside, kind of beat them up a little bit. Definitely tore up the bottoms of the clear translucent, but it is what it is. I tried to wash it, didn't come out. My fault, but I'm not gonna hoop in my sneakers. I love hooping. I'm not gonna give up a chance to, or an opportunity to hoop. We ain't on this earth long enough to miss opportunities like that. So at the end of the day, I'm hooping. I don't care. Even if I got the new white Kobe 8 Halos, I'm hooping in them outside if that's my only shoe I got in the car. So guys, this is my rundown of the KD16. I appreciate all you guys watching. We hit 2,000 subscribers. Means the world to me that I even have that many people following me at the end of the day. I just want to give a sincere shout out to everybody that follows me, messes with me, likes my stuff, comments on it, shares my stuff. I really appreciate you guys. It means the world to me that I even got a couple thousand people following me and that rock with me. So at the end of the day, guys, I appreciate it. You know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next episode of Sold Out. Peace.